Chiefs or die. Welcome to the 2021 Kansas City Chiefs NFL schedule, where we see the dates, the places, and where your Kansas City Chiefs will be dominating this fall, baby. Heck yes, baby. Let's break it down. Your Kansas City Chiefs this offseason have built the best NFL offensive line and more than likely ever. There's never been an offensive line this talented, this freaking strong, this freaking great on paper that has ever existed in Chiefs history. I mean, let's look at it, baby. Before I give you that schedule, you got Orlando Brown Jr. at left tackle. He was groomed his entire life from his dad to being left tackle, not the right tackle. You remember that opening interview with Orlando Brown Jr. when he came to Arrowhead, he said, "Dad, I want to be an NFL player." He said that as a kid. And his dad said, "You ain't nothing unless you're a left tackle." And Orlando Brown Sr. played quite a bit at right tackle. He knew what he wanted his son to be. An all-pro left tackle. And that's exactly what this man is. Stud. Just turned 25 last week. Oh man, Brett Veach invested a #1 draft pick and got him. That's all it took. And Baltimore gave the Kansas City Chiefs their #1 draft pick, or their second round draft pick. So anything Nick Bolton does this season, thank Baltimore. But let's get back to the offensive line. At left guard, you got Tooney, Joseph Tooney, the man we paid fat money for from New England. Stud left guard. At center, you got Creed Humphrey and Austin Blythe battling it out. Quite frankly, I really like Creed to win that. And you can either go with Austin Gray, the guard, or Tardif or Allegretti to battle it out at right guard. I know Allegretti didn't play any, ladies and gentlemen, at right guard. He played left guard last season. And in right tackle, I'm going to go with Lucas Niang. It could be Rimmers, but I'm going to go with the Niang gang, as Lance Twidwell likes to say. Speaking of Lance Twidwell, ladies and gentlemen, of the spoken, you know him, you love him, and if you loved him, you better get help. But needless to say, I called him out in early March when he said the Kansas City Chiefs this offseason are going to build the 2003 offensive line. And on Facebook, I said, "Lance, you can't say that. Willie Roaf and Will Shields were Hall of Famers, man. It's unfair to compare any offensive line that Brett Veach builds to those great men." But Brett Veach has done that. Brett Veach has built the Kansas City Chiefs 2003 offensive line. And with that, I want to eat some crow. I got to eat some crow for Lance Twidwell because Brett Veach built the offensive line. This is a crow cookie. I had a crow. I got to shoot it down from the top of a tree with a slingshot and put it inside this cookie. So it's a crow chocolate chip cookie I'm going to take a bite of because I got to eat this crow. That's some good crow cookie. I see the crow in there a little bit. I had to put some crow in there. I had to mix a crow with something. Come on. And one more bite, and I got it onto my shelf. Crow cookie. I got to do it. I called him out, and I was wrong. Got to wash it down with some Mahomey. More Mahomey milk, substance, juice, mystery drink. That's my crow cookie. I had to eat because I was wrong. Brett Veach built up that offensive line. Brett Veach built it up. And Patrick Mahomes will have the greatest offensive line. This tenure, what Patrick Mahomes is about to endure in the 2021 season will be his best offensive line in his brief. He's going into his fifth season, fourth as a starter. Wait, 18, 19, 20, 20. Yep, 21. This will be his fourth season as a starter. This will be the best offensive line in Kansas City Chiefs history, right up there with 2003. And it's not only important to build up the offensive line, because in the last two Super Bowls, let's be honest, folks, in the last two Super Bowls, Patrick Mahomes took a beating, an unfair beating. The Chiefs would not have won Super Bowl 54 if Patrick Mahomes doesn't walk over to the sideline and say to Coach Bieniemy, "Do we have time to run wasp?" Bieniemy looks up at him and says, "You want to run wasp?" So Patrick Mahomes, with a not very good offensive line or decent offensive line, came back in history in Super Bowl 54. We all know what happened at 55. The offensive tackles weren't offensive tackles. They were in wrong spots. But this offensive line, oh my gosh, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And yes, I will compare it to the 2003 Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. Because Orlando Brown Jr. was groomed to be the next Willie Roaf. Joe Tooney, look what he did with New England. That's why it took mad cash to bring him to KC. And Creed Humphrey, man, the dude's 6'5", 355. That's a freaking man. I call him meat and potatoes. I'm just going to call Creed meat and potatoes. We could say men amongst boys, man beast. Meat and potatoes is Creed Humphrey. And Tardif and our 6th-round draft pick can battle it out. And I like Lucas Niang, like I said, to beat out Remmers at right tackle. But we'll dissect that at training camp. All right. Let's get to this badass Kansas City Chiefs schedule, baby, and break it down. All right? Here we go. The Kansas City Chiefs open at home September 12th against the Dog Pound. We know what the Dog Pound did against Patrick in the freaking playoffs. They bounced his head a couple times off the ground. That ain't cool. Patrick didn't get to finish. You know that's on his mind, and it's Baker Mayfield versus Patrick. Patrick versus Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was a quarterback at Texas Tech, and he welcomed Patrick into Texas Tech when Patrick was just a freshman, and then Patrick ended up pushing Baker Mayfield and Davis Webb off the roster. Nah, I kid. But that is what happened. Baker Mayfield, he freaking brought Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes went to Tech to back up Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield got in a pissing contest with the head coach, and he said, "I want out of here." Anyway, Patrick Mahomes was the successor, even because Davis Webb couldn't stay healthy at Tech. So there's that hype. It's the young quarterbacks. It's Patrick and Baker. It's Baker and Patrick. Heck yes, you got to love it. Week 2, we got the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football against Lamar Jackson and then Baltimore Ravens and the Lizard King, Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins could have an injury. He could be out with turf toe or a hangnail. I kid. I digress. I love Sammy. I met him last year at a meet and greet 14 months ago, and he's the coolest dude. He wanted to stay in Kansas City long term, but it looked like it didn't happen. But anyway, it's Chiefs and Ravens. Little Pat against Lamar. Who's the real MVP? You saw that video I put out last year with the lyrics and the recording by Zach Pearson. I wrote the chorus. Zach took care of the rest and recorded it. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an excellent song. It was a damn good time. Now, I think the Chiefs should win those 2 games. We'll do my schedule prediction show come Labor Day weekend. But Patrick's going to be up for that. He's got Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson to start the season. And he comes back home to play the Los Angeles Not-So-Superchargers. The Los Angeles Not-So-Superchargers have a good quarterback. He's really good. But I think the Chiefs should take care of that game. That's a noon start. The first noon start at Arrowhead. So are you freaking alcoholics? They'll have to get up early and start your tailgating and slamming them shots. About 6 in the morning. I'm 51 now. I don't drink that much. But to those that do, get a designated driver. Or just make sure you find the toilet straight through to throw up in. I don't like going to Arrowhead's toilet and see all the people that threw up miss the toilet. It sucks. I don't want to use that stall, man. Okay. Then week 4, the Chiefs go back to Philadelphia, Andy Reid's hometown. or Andy Reid's first team as he coached. The Chiefs beat them there in 2013. Andy Reid's going to have to do it again. The Eagles aren't that good. They really are rebuilding, so the Chiefs should take care of that game. Then the Chiefs come back home Sunday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. Oh my gosh. The team that many of the experts have directly behind the Chiefs is the Bills. That's going to be freaking sweet on prime time. But I like the Chiefs in that one. The Chiefs should win. So the next week we go to the Washington football team in Washington, the capital, against a young and upcoming team. Fitzpatrick, I think, will probably be their quarterback. He's played with everybody but the Chiefs. And the Chiefs should win. Chiefs then go to the Titans. Mike Vrabel will have his team pumped up. Remember that game when Patrick Mahomes came back in Tennessee and he passed for 470 yards, but we still lost because Andy Reid called a bonehead play at the end. But I digress. We're not thinking that. I like Patrick to go into Tennessee and put up another 470 yards passing. Then a Monday night game against the New York Giants. The only Monday night football game at Arrowhead this year is against the football Giants. I don't know if that'll be much of a game. I know the Giants are in transition. They were decent last year. They were 6-10 and barely missed winning the division, which speaks highly of that division. Then we come home and do we play Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, or do we play somebody else at their quarterback? They signed another quarterback this week, Blake Bortles. The Packers signed Blake Bortles. I sure hope it's not Blake Bortles. I want it to be Aaron Rodgers. He belongs in Green Bay. Come on, Aaron Rodgers. Quit being such a dick. You got to be such a baby. Come on, man. You can't, I digress. I want to say there's two sides to every story, but I can't imagine that the Packers brass, general managers and ownership want to piss off two legendary quarterbacks like they did in Brett Favre in 2008 and Aaron Rodgers in 2021. Yeah, Packers, and I'll say this about the Packers ownership. You had two stud quarterbacks in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and you managed to piss them both off. Way to go, fudge Packers. Cheeseheads. Okay? Then the next week, the Chiefs go to Vegas. I almost said Oakland because I want to. I love them in Oakland better. The Chiefs go to Vegas on primetime Sunday Night Football to play the Las Vegas Raiders. That should be a doozy. The Chiefs played them on Sunday Night Football last year and won the last second drive by Little Pat. Then the Chiefs come home to play the America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and Dak Prescott. Hopefully he's healthy and hope Patrick's healthy. Let's hope everybody's healthy because Jerry Jones will be up there in his booth and Joe Buck will be putting the camera on him about 17 or 18 times and say, let's take a look at Jerry Jones, who has to be completely frustrated with Patrick Mahomes kicking his ass. Yes, I like the Chiefs to win that game. Then finally, December 5th, the Chiefs get to play the Denver Broncos. Will it be Aaron Rodgers? Will it be the quarterback that escapes me from Lee Summit that the Chiefs have dominated? Oh man, I don't know. It could be either Aaron Rodgers or fudge, I forgot his name, number 3, Lee Summit, Hall of Fame, Missouri Tiger fame. Let's skip to the next game. Raiders Chiefs, December 12th. That should be a good game. The Chiefs should win. Then the Chiefs go out on a Sunday night game or Thursday night game at the Los Angeles Chargers. And then that should be a game. I think the Chiefs win, though. Then the Chiefs come back day after Christmas to host the Pittsburgh Steelers and the terrible towel. There'll be some freaking Steelers fans there. They always show up with their towels and crap. But I look for Jerron Reed and Frank Clark and Chris Jones to take Big Ben down. Then the last two games are on the road against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati, then against Denver at Denver. It's going to be a hell of a season, ladies and gentlemen. But I like the Chiefs to be very damn successful. For the first time ever, the Chiefs will have 17 games. Not since 1978 have the Kansas City Chiefs have had expanded to their schedule. I was 7 years old, and the Kansas City Chiefs in 1977 went 2-12. The next season, they went 4-12. I thought, well, I don't mind losing 12 games because we won 2 more. Depends how you want to look at it, folks. It depends how you look at it. Now, moving forward for the Shaggyshane Show, I will be back sometime in June if the Chiefs make some wheels and deals. There's some heavy rumors There's some heavy rumors that the Chiefs may make a play for Julio Jones. I don't like it because I like Byron Pringle, Mark Hardman, and the rest of the receivers on the staff. I think the Chiefs are fine. I want to keep my draft picks for next year. But Julio Jones definitely brings a different element to the Chiefs offense that we never really got with Sammy Watkins. Could it happen? I think it could. Just remember, Arrowhead Stadium is 4 miles from my house, which you know is a short drive to the countryside. Where you going? You can't run and hide. So many questions. Questions like, man, do you really think Julio Jones will come here? And my answer to that is, I think there's a damn good chance Julio Jones will be in Kansas City. Do I want him? Not really. I trust Pringle. I trust number 13. I like McColl. Robinson's on that one-year deal. He's going to want to do something. You got to do something. Come on, D-Rob. Come on, dude. Also like Cornell Powell, our 5th-round draft pick as a wide receiver. But anyway, folks, until next time, this is Shaggyshane saying I will see you in June when the news breaks, baby. Until then, have a kick-ass spring. Have a kick-ass summer. See you next month, folks. This is Shaggyshane saying, go Chiefs.